Hello, Kirsty. Okay, welcome everyone. I have just invited Poppy in, so hopefully she's seen that. She's going to come in any minute. But while we wait, it'd be really nice to know where you are joining from. So if you want to type in where you're joining from, that's quite a good little exercise and learn a little bit about you. And I'm sure it's really hot where you are. It's absolutely boiling. My studio gets very, very hot in the afternoon. So let's see, where's Poppy? Let me send her a little text. Try her again. I always imagine everyone's in their swim costumes in their gardens. It kind of makes you really sleepy and forget what time it is. You sort of lose all ambition and just decide, oh, let's not work as hard as I have been working. So just So I think that it's always a bit confusing with the Substack lives and that if I were in charge that I do. And I make it really clear to people that there's two, but I wonder if she thought it's tomorrow at 3. And tomorrow's when I put the feature up. Hang on in for a little bit. I'll go and check my texts again. We'll wait till 5 past, which is just a minute away, and see if she gets in. And if she doesn't, I'll have to reschedule. Sorry about that, everyone. Don't know what's going on.
Okay, great. Sorry. It was making me verify my age because this is new for me. I'm like, here I am. I'm here.
Poppy Delbridge,
Hi, darling.
welcome. Hello.
Hello. Here I am.
How are
Woohoo.
you?
I'm great. I'm feeling
Jolly
good.
good. Let me
Ready
give
for
you a
this.
quick introduction to you. So, welcome, Poppy. Poppy Delbridge is a best-selling author, transformation coach, keynote speaker, and energy shifter to world leaders and public figures. She's a former Warner Bros. Executive turned founder of Rapid Tapping, best-selling author of Tapping In, and her new HarperCollins 7-step system to transform your mindset and create change that lasts is out now, and it's called Unlock Your Power. Before we go anywhere, Poppy, amazing. Tell me what's on your mind. I can guess, I think, but
Well, yeah. You know what it's like, don't you? Putting a book out into the world. I feel excited.
yeah, having
Really
done it once
happy.
already,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I feel
different.
really excited. The way the world is now, I think, is a bit different to when I wrote the last one in 2020.
Yes.
Which is
Great.
nice.
Good, very good. And so tell us, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I would say nowadays that I increasingly work with women of profile in some way.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is either they're an expert in their niche, and it often is a niche, or they're rising in something that they're passionate about, or they're a leader, or they're a founder.
Yes.
And I work with those women both in a sort of author capacity, creating programs to help them transform from within to create what they want sort of without in an external way. And, increasingly now I have this second role of being a founder and being an entrepreneur and having this energy method called
Yeah.
rapid tapping, which you of course know, and an app for that, and a training academy for that now. We've got 100 people around the world now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really
Awesome.
wonderful. Yeah, so it's many hats now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And was there a moment in your life where the direction of your life changed? What was that moment for you?
Yeah, many, many moments, I'd say. But the one that's probably top of mind now, because of the book, was 2010. So quite a long time ago. And I woke up one day and everything started to change. It was a very normal, busy day. And I was slowly starting to get pain and burns on my face. And then my eyesight started to go.
And what were you doing at the time? What
I
were
was
you
actually
working at?
working in television.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a producer in television and entertainment. I had my son, who around the
How
time was
old
about
was he?
6. He was about 6 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's actually at university now, which is, yeah, interesting. Interesting times. And, yeah, I had a lot of stuff on paper that was, considered successful, I suppose. So I had the house, I had the marriage, I had all of the stuff. I was ambitious, and I was completely and utterly about to collapse. And that changed my life completely, being in that sort of MRI scan, understanding that what was happening to my body felt out of my control at that point. And that allowed me, sounds quite cheesy, but it did really allow me to see this new way of living. And
Yeah.
that's when I found energy psychology work, quantum physics work, tapping. I found this stuff from like this lived moment. And then that became my secret little thing that I did, kept going television for quite a considerable amount of time through lots of changes in my personal life, lots of pivots, divorcing. It wasn't an easy, neat little transformation next day, fine.
No.
But it did help me to completely rebuild everything. So now everything I do just comes from this different lens of energy first, everything else second.
Great. And I always think it's a real shame, isn't it, that we have to break before we kind of can build ourselves up again.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be, does it? But I
No,
think it's often the way,
it
you know,
is.
probably with you as well, when we work with people, there is that kind of catastrophe moment where there is
Yes.
nothing else to do but to go inward and
Yes.
change
Yeah.
something that we
Absolutely.
have control over.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, it doesn't have to be. And actually, most of my work is about micro pattern change. So whether
Yes.
that's with the tapping, rapid tapping, or the book now, it's tiny bits every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually how most people get into the work that they do, isn't it? Because they have this
Mm,
great big dramatic thing happen to them and they just think, right, I can't go on like this any longer. Something's got to
yeah.
give and change. Um, so
Yeah.
what does being at home in your body feel like?
Oh, it feels to me coherent in the three layers of my mind: conscious mind, what I want, what I think; subconscious mind, the patterns and reactions that sort of take over for me in relation to that; and superconscious mind, how creative I feel. Do I feel connected to myself? Do I feel connected to source? Do I feel connected to this realm of possibility? If all of those three are good, and of course the mind, in my expression of the mind, is similar to yours in that it's an expanded mindset, thinking
Hmm.
about an embodied way of being.
Hmm.
So if I feel that I've got all of those regulated and coherent, I feel like I'm in my body and I'm in my connection. That's high frequency for me.
And when you're off, what are the first signals that tell you that you're not in frequency? You're not
Oh,
kind of.
so many. I mean, like, right now, because I'm so busy, I'm doing so much of my own stuff. And my first signals, well, I call them invisible mind patterns, actually, imps. And I have for a long time. And I check in with what that voice is or what that one sort of body reaction is.
Hmm.
And more often than not, for me, it is a super push. I call it super pusher imp. Each of these imps has a name. And they tend to come out when you're just about to break through, actually, and you need to listen, not
Hmm.
ignore it. And
Hmm.
in the body, for me, that is not breathing. And I have a tendency to overachieve, prove it imp, very ambitious, all of that. So my first thing, I did it this morning actually, is if I notice that I'm not breathing, yeah, I'll tap and yeah, I'll do breath work. But I'll also now go straight into some kind of nature,
Hmm.
which is the easiest thing to ever do. So I'd sat outside, and it's great when it's hot, but I would do it even if it's cold now, and
Yeah.
just connect, feel it in my sense of self again.
Yeah, lovely. And what have you had to unlearn about how you handle stress or pressure?
Mm. I suppose we go through life thinking that pressure and stress is an indication of success.
Mm.
No, I've learnt to notice that all the power that we have doesn't come from running on that. So I've had to learn to slow down, to speed up. And for me, actually it's difficult to slow down in the traditional sense.
Hmm.
I think that's often the thing that we're told, just take some time out. But time out in a bath, if your negative mindset is all you hear, is not going to change you.
No.
So for me, I've had to learn that that is actually the most important part of rest,
Yes.
to not drop into that, and then my body can rest.
Yes. Well, it's either fast speed or collapse, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I even used to think that about restorative yoga, which I taught for a bit and was trained in it. And I just thought, actually, to take someone really speedy to lying over a bolster just isn't achievable.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? It's not going to make them rest. It's just going to make them feel really itchy, scratchy,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
impatient. Do you know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
think there's so many other things that you can do than that. And it's great to lie over a bolster, but that isn't the only way to
Yeah.
repair and restore and,
It's true.
recalibrate.
Yeah.
Um, So what I sort of know all of these things because I know you, but still, it's good for people to hear what you have to
Yeah,
say.
I like
What
it.
what do you return to again and again that helps you to come back to yourself?
Well, for me, the thing that I do without fail every day is tapping.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know it, it is a form of energy psychology where you are using your body in a somatic way. So you're tapping on particular points, which are loosely related to acupuncture points, acupressure points. But with my rapid tapping, I extend that to energy techniques as well. So, and just human techniques, like that's what we like,
Mhm.
because even just the art of touching and being and noticing the energy that we have is a hugely important thing. So I do a lot of every day before I wake up. How am I feeling? So I work through the feelings very quickly. I don't have a great deal of time to be like, let's spend ages.
Yeah.
So I very quickly, hence rapid tapping, do a lot of that.
Yeah.
I just can't not do that,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
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 And how are you making sure how are you changing things up for this book launch? Because the first one sort of hits
Mm,
you when you're running, aren't you? You're just kind of running, not knowing what you're doing, trying to say yes to everything. That was
yeah.
certainly my experience. But how are you doing it differently this time round? It's
Yeah.
been really gorgeous to see all the people with your book and at your book launch and kind of just talking about it. It's been really lovely to see this.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I feel like it's just happening. Actually, I with this one, I feel
Yeah.
the energy is a little different.
Yeah, it feels it as well from
Yeah.
looking on. It
Do
just
you think
feels
so?
really, yeah, really
That's
kind and
good.
community, and it feels like I'm sure there is quite a
Yeah.
lot of effort behind it, but it feels like it's not effortful. Not that I thought your last one was, but
Now,
do you know
when
what I mean?
yeah,
It feels really
dialing in
easy.
from it was going to be a party. Shut that down. Sorry. Just attempted to move. Never do that in a
No,
live.
never do that in a life.
Never do it. Never attempt to move. Um, yeah, I think what I've learned this time is that you do your first book and it's all very all or nothing,
Yes.
and you get a little bit worried. Oh, have I done that right? And if I missed that window, and oh, have I done this?
Yeah.
This time I'm like, do you know what? This book to me is different because I feel as if it's taken quite a long time to get out.
Yeah.
2 years when they asked me to write it. I was teaching it and training everyone in it for sort of 6 or 7 years before that. And I know it works, it's a process, it's a system, and I kind of feel it needs to find its feet
Yeah.
with people as they read it and understand the concepts behind it.
Yeah.
So I suppose in a way I'm a little more relaxed. I'm having lots of mini book launches. People are very kindly throwing me different launches.
Nice.
So I'm just kind of staggering it out, and I'm just staying true to what it is, and I want it to last because that's the point of it. It is about changing your mindset and creating change that lasts.
Lovely. I like Ruthie Rogers' approach to her second restaurant, which she opened in Mayfair, which was a river cafe, of course. So I used to live very near it,
Yeah,
and used to pop in and get a table without booking because I was just so nearby. Real,
because you're on the heat, and it's like, of course, come on in.
of course, exactly.
Why wouldn't we have you?
It was a huge treat.
Yeah, nice.
And anytime you kind of thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to just do that. It's a gorgeous sunny day. But
Yeah,
she took about 30 years to open her second one. And I so admired that.
30 years was it?
Something like that.
Yeah,
20 or 30 years. A really long time.
yeah, I
You know,
love that.
she'd been offered so many chances to open up a second one, but she didn't want to
Mm,
do it. And
yeah.
she just wanted to do it when she was ready. So I thought it was great. So tell us about your book. What's it all about?
Yeah, so the book is based on a process, 7 step system, really, that I've been teaching people and training people to use to create their goals, but also to align themselves, both on the inner level and on the external level, so they can start to step into and unlock their power. And power for me, I suppose, is about, do you feel that you can hold the capacity for what you want?
Mhm.
Does it feel alien to you to have your desires met and done? Or does it feel like they really do have a space in your life? And more often than not, the clients I've had and the people I've worked with or taken through it don't yet feel that what they want can be done.
Yeah.
And that's actually really important, because if your body and if your mind doesn't feel that something can be done, that it's not actually part of you, that it's not true for you, that you can't hold the capacity for it, your nervous system will have a kind of lock point and it won't want any more, because if you think you're already stressed, you're already at capacity, obviously it's going to go no, because it's very clever and it's going to hold you a little bit down and constricted. But then, of course, you've got things like everything that's happened to you throughout your life. There's stories that need to be debunked.
Yeah.
There's people around that unfortunately might not pull you up, they might pull you down. So there might need to be a bit of smart ditching of some practical environments and things like that. How do we do that? It can be quite difficult. So it's a step-by-step process going through 7 Ds that support anyone, really, but particularly, I would say, women who want to step into that next level or make a pivot to actually really confidently and also peacefully create and manifest what they want.
Lovely. And can you give us an example? I know you can't mention any names, but can you give us an example of somebody that you took from one place through those steps to another? What might that look like?
Yeah. So there's someone who's worked with me for about since 2020. She did the first pivot into power. And she actually said, "Oh, please tell everyone this." So I was like, okay. And she was in my first book, and her name's Claudia. And she used to be very high up in media, had a great job, very great. And she wanted to pivot out of that and actually move into a passion, do something different completely. But obviously, can you do that? How do you do that? She was like, "I'm already at the top of this career." And we used the process to establish what she really wanted and then get clear on the invisible mind pattern that might be stopping her from moving forward. What's it saying? How's it showing up? And then look at the benefits of, what would happen if you went for that. And we go through each of these steps together. We debunk a lot of the resistance energetically, belief-wise, practical sometimes. And she went through it, and she then got her job in her passion trade, and that was in fine wine.
Yeah.
And then we continued on. And she's just come back from retreat, actually, that I run. I run retreats. And she went with me to Mykonos, and she achieved her goal of being World Power List this year.
Wow.
And she credits the process. So
Great.
it's a very magical process if you do it.
Yes.
Is what I find, because you're working with your biology and you're working with real. And because I've gone through a lot and I've been a solo parent and built these careers, 2 different careers, I understand that sometimes you're staring a sort of no in the face and you have to kind of work your way up to the next bit. So that was great. Yeah, that's lovely. Things like that all the time, and just makes you want to do it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I often think that, this funny old world that we live in, it's so brilliant to be helping people and being of service and kind of making people, just allowing them to really fulfill their potential is just so rewarding. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what do you not do anymore that you used to think you had to do?
I probably spent a lot of my time pandering, pleasing, quite overloaded with responsibilities for not just other people in my life, but I actually had that for all people, which I realized, to your point, I really wanted people to change their mindset. I really wanted it because I had the fortunate life of growing up knowing the importance of mindset from my dad, my father, who had terminal cancer in his 20s and just was the happiest guy you've ever met, really. And he chose to kind of live with real aliveness through that. actually helped him. It actually got better. And so my privilege in life was having that. We didn't have a lot. Actually, lost everything because he got very sick, very young. But it allowed me to really understand the power of the mind, and the mindset we have is something we can change. And that if you have a high frequency, you can achieve just a lot more and feel happy. You don't need it from anything else. But also that can end up manifesting back to you. So I, like anyone who knows something in their bones, you want to tell everyone, I want everyone to do this, like do it, everyone tap, like everyone do it. And in the end, you think, just, everyone's on their own journey.
Yeah.
Like there's an
they get
access
there in
thing.
their own time.
It's an access thing. So I've learned to just, it's okay. I can't work with everyone and I can't do that. So I've actually really, I work with far less people now. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And what have you stopped identifying with? I think you sort of touched on it, but what have you stopped identifying with?
Well, I think for me now, I really just keep identifying now with the now and the future.
Mm.
That's it. I very, very rarely get into the energy of the past.
Mm.
I really can forgive pretty much anything.
Mm.
And I spent too long identifying with that, or getting angry about that, or worrying about what people thought, or thinking, well, how could they possibly do that?
Yeah.
And I've really learned to ditch that. I mean, it's one of the keys in the book, of course, but I really learned to not identify with that, because the more we identify with something, a pattern, anything, a feeling, you feed it.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
feed it an energy.
Yeah.
And it's unhelpful to us. So that needs to be kept. Yeah, so that you can really enjoy the moment of today.
Yeah, I'm practicing something that I call enoughness, because I had this moment, because as you know, I left London, and then I've been out of London about 5 years, and then I was loads of things are happening politically here, and I just thought, I need to go back to London, and then it's changing again, so it's fine. But I just decided that, do you know what? All this kind of searching for the next thing and the next thing and something that might be better, or returning to something. Aren't we lucky? I've got a house, I've got a garden, I've got food on the table. I've got a lovely studio that I've built and it faces the garden. So I'm surrounded by nature. I live by the sea. It's enough, right? It's enough.
Yeah.
This whole kind of seeking thing. And generally, I'm quite good at not. Generally, I'm really quite a content person. But sometimes it gets you, doesn't it? There's a little flurry of like, I need to change things up. But it's a really lovely practice of just going, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
Everything I've got is good.
I'm all right. Yeah.
I'm all
And I
right.
think it's different from gratitude.
It is.
Right?
It
Because
is different.
gratitude can be really forced.
I agree.
Think, I've got to be grateful. It's like, you know what? If it's not coming from the spirit of generous gratitude, don't bother with it.
No.
You know?
I know. Yeah, it's all about actually just kind of noticing small sensations, small details, and just keep doing that all throughout the day. And it really shifts everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you ditch people?
I ditch vibrations.
Yeah.
I ditch frequencies that I feel, when you just know something is off.
Yes.
I'm very, very acutely aware of that and the impact that it has on me, not just as a sort of empathy person, but I try and see things as vibrational rather than personal.
Yeah.
I think that gives you quite a lot of liberation and freedom.
It does, yes.
To not think of it as a personal thing.
Yeah.
But it's just a vibrational thing. So if something feels vibrationally off, I tend to just think, well, okay, if this was, really my choice, and it was, let's say, a horrible sort of, I don't know, like a scratchy, horrible, spiky thing coming towards me.
Yeah.
What would I do in that scenario?
Yeah.
And the chances are I wouldn't go towards it.
No.
So I sort of think, okay, well, for what I have control over, yeah, I am quite ruthless with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really important to just protect one's environment as much as you can. So
Mm,
not that you're not being robust enough to be able to deal with things,
mm,
but I just think life's too short really to hang around people that are not for you. It's fine,
mm.
isn't it? We don't have to be for everyone.
Yeah, because I think it's different, isn't it? Sometimes it's obviously I'll deal with trauma and all sorts of
Yeah.
things, and you think that it's not that I'm unkind if someone's in the depths, because I've been in the depths and I've been real
Yes, of
angry or
course.
whatever,
Of
all of
course.
those
Yeah.
things. So you kind of you have this gentle balance with that kind of thing.
Yes.
But also, I think with the ditch, it's often about just very simple things that really take a lot of our mind
Yeah.
energy of the
Yeah.
day. So things like the news,
Yeah.
on repeat, just tiny things we can think about, what you're eating, like just small things, I
Yeah.
think make a big difference as well as people.
Yeah. And so with all this work that you've done,
Mm.
what in your life feels easier now for you? Do you know what I can sense it and see it in you as
Can
well.
you?
Yeah, but also we're all getting older. We are meant to evolve.
Not me.
Life is
Not you, actually.
simpler.
I'm trying to
No,
go
I
back to
am, but I'm
longevity, baby.
I'm very good. I'm good with it. I actually
Yeah, me
feel
too.
more. I feel more in myself every year I get
Yeah.
older. I feel more kind of like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really rooted. I really like myself,
Yeah.
um, and I really like my life. So I feel more and more, yeah, rooted. I think is the
Rooted.
word that I would use.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's
Mm.
lovely. Yeah, I think
Well,
that's really lovely.
thank you. So, what do you think we've
Mm.
normalized that isn't actually working? Could be society, could be values, attributes, behaviors, whatever you would like to choose.
Mm. Okay, controversial.
Oh, I like that.
Mm. I think we've normalized moaning.
Yeah,
And I
you should
mean that
say
in a
that.
very
Yeah,
lovely way,
yeah. No, I
because
agree.
I was such a moaner and I still
Yeah.
have the propensity to do a good moan and it feels really good.
Yeah,
However,
I
when you
never
look
feel
at
it
it, it's
does.
really bad for us.
Yeah, I never feel it does make me feel good. If someone's
Yeah,
moaning at me, and then I think, oh, I better join in and moan as well. It
yeah,
doesn't
because you're
actually
like,
make me
oh, I'm
feel
moaner.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
don't want
doesn't.
them to be on their own,
No, it
and
doesn't. It
it
doesn't work.
doesn't actually make me
No, it
feel
doesn't
better.
actually work.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also there's a certain age that you get to, because where I've moved, everyone is of a certain age that I'm kind of mixing with. And as soon as you meet someone, they start telling you about their ailments. And I'm like, no, we do not need to know that. It's like, I do not,
I
that
probably
isn't the
tell you
first
my
thing.
ailments though. I
No,
just like, can I just tell you about?
I know.
It's like
And it's like,
creaky arm. Like,
I think
God.
you sort of say to them, how are you? And they're just like, oh, my back. And I'm like, we're too young for this. We are too young for this. I'm not having this, because it's going to be many years of things falling apart. And I just don't think we ought to document it.
Well,
Do
it's
something
also
about it.
the interesting thing that I talk about a lot, which this book is about, is you're feeding it in
Yes, you are,
to
absolutely.
your system. Like that's
Yes,
why it cannot be normalized. Like if we could normalize possibility, if it was normal to go up to someone and say, "Hey, you look great. Hey,
yes,
how are you? I'm
I
having a
do
great
that.
day. How are you
Yes,
doing?"
yeah,
I really think that the level of self acceptance would really go up.
yes, I agree. I really love going to New York, and for all the things that are wrong about America, I just love the upbeatness of it. And then
Yeah.
when I come back, I'm kind of like, we do actually really moan as a nation. That is actually what we do. And
We do
I
like
always
a
kind of
good moan.
I know. I always think, I wonder what that is about. What is that about? Because, they don't have an NHS in America. They don't, but at the same time, they are, you get tips because wages aren't very
Mm.
good and so on. So they have to be good. So I wonder how deep it is. But anyway, I quite enjoy it. I quite enjoy the upbeatness of it
Yeah.
compared
Yeah.
to, yeah. Yes, great answer. Um, I have got some quick fire questions for
Oh, I
you,
love
Whitney.
your question. I'm very enjoying this.
Good, great. You're very
This is
good at
my first Substack.
Lovely. I'm loving your answer, so you're very good at it. Um, what would your younger self be proud of, and what would that be, and why?
My younger self would be proud that I didn't stay in a life that was quite laid out and prescribed for me.
Did you get
Because of,
pregnant in Cornwall? Did you have a?
so I
Was it there?
got married very young
Oh,
and went to university married to my first love. And then we had our baby. Yeah, I was pregnant and had our baby within about 6 months
wow.
of also my dad dying at uni. So it was very, and I was newly married. I was playing house and it was so strange, but also really wonderful. You know,
Yes.
it wasn't, we were actually trying because my parents took a long time to have children. My decision was to carry on and do that degree.
Yeah.
So I was doing,
Right.
breastfeeding in toilets while
Amazing.
people were being sick from a night out. And that, I think I'm proud that didn't stop me from having
Yes.
this entertainment career, judging the BAFTAs, doing all this cool stuff, and then leaving and resigning from that job to write these books and get involved and help sort of get this work out. So I think the younger me would be like, get on, you've done that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. What have you changed your mind about recently?
Mm. Just try and think of a good answer for you. But I'd probably say I made a bit of a decision to do more things in person.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, and go a bit more analog.
Yes.
Not that I'm not doing, the other stuff. And of
No.
course, everything's global and it's useful to do
Yeah.
this. And I've got an app, so,
Yeah.
But I do think that my mind changed about the connection and the social connection. We know how great that is for us as human beings.
Yeah.
So I changed my mind about it and I thought, do you know what? Even though I know how to do all this other stuff, it doesn't mean I have to.
No.
So I'm doing something new and I'm doing live
Yes.
events, live shows. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, I was the same, I think. But after I closed my studios down, I remember just thinking, I'm quite happy to be online. I needed to retract myself. And then over the last few years, I'm like, I want to be out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want
Like
to be out. I want to be seeing people.
Yeah.
I want to be connecting with them. I want to have that kind of group dynamic if there's a group.
That's right.
I also work one-to-ones. I have a hands-on element to my work. I want to be doing all that again.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. It's been really feeding me.
Yeah, I bet it has actually,
Yeah,
being
it's great.
hands-on.
Yeah.
Like it is so lovely, isn't it? When I did my retreat, I do these retreats now, small groups of women for transformation, but just being hands-on and being able to deliver like energy work. Also I'm a Reiki practitioner. And you think, wow, you forget
Yes, yeah.
that's what we're doing here. Body work.
Absolutely. And last question, you've done very well, is what about the way we live now do you find most interesting or strange?
Well, I find it interesting that we sort of think it's weird to look at things through a lens of energetics, energy, and the embodied mind, when all science since the 1920s has pointed and is as yet has not been disproven that we are actually energy and operate as such. I find it strange that we find that weird and woo-woo when it's science. So I still find that odd. I think it'll be like when I was looking today when I got up and I was thinking I'll put on some neck cream and all of this, and I'm like, I put my cream on. And then I thought, God, do you remember when we didn't even have supplementation? And we didn't even have creams, and there was no such thing as like, you know, Botox and all of that. And then you think, wow, is that what it's going to be like in 20 years? And we realize we've been doing it all wrong. And actually, we're trying to fix ourselves and look outwards at getting the next this and all of this, when actually, it's that we've already got it. Everything we need.
Yeah, that really, actually, it really makes me feel very sad.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? It makes me feel really sad that people don't understand they already have it.
yeah, already
It's
have it.
it's getting this work out to them, isn't it? To the people that won't have access to it. So I
Yeah.
think that's where your app is really useful.
Yes.
To
Rapid
me.
tapping app is like a pleasure to me.
Yeah.
Certainly, it's not, it's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
it's a pleasure to me to offer it.
But it's really lovely to operate on lots of different levels, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Poppy, I'm going to include all of your details, the details of your book, your app. Anything else you want to mention before we go? It's been such a joy to see
It
you.
has been lovely, isn't it? No, it's been so nice. I mean, this is just my next little baby, really.
Yeah. I'll put
You
a
know,
link to your book
yeah.
in there. So, yeah, I'll put a link to everything. Thank you so much for joining me, Poppy
Thanks,
Delbridge. Lovely
Nahid.
to see you.
You
Thanks, everyone.
too.
Sorry we're a little bit late. But
Yeah,
it's
that
that
was me.
now you've done it, you know how to
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, it was great.
The
Love
first
it.
thing is always hideous because you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, why has everything gone wrong?
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You
Yeah, and the
too.
best of luck with your book.
Thanks, Nahid.
Lots of love.
Lots of
Bye.
love.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Oh, it's going to take a little time.